This session, we'll talk about the new multi-cloud certification, which focuses on security and is called SCAZT. Now, I'm not a huge fan about the acronym. I mean, somebody maybe from Norway come up with this acronym, but I mean, it works. In this specific session does not have this feature over here. So in case you do have any sort of questions or you need to talk a little bit extra about the certification or any other multi-cloud certification, um, you just need to come and grab us and ask the question. This feature is not available in this small session. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to see an overview of the certifications that Cisco offers. We're going to see and talk a little bit about the multi-cloud certifications which are available and what it's coming. Um, and then we will see a few things about the new 300 740. I'm gonna say the certification like this is instead of SCADS because it feels a little bit weird, a little bit awkward. And from there on, we're going to show a few preparation tips on how to approach your studies for this certification. So the idea of cloud, multi-cloud, AI is not new to Cisco. If you go through the certifications or through all the years and download the blueprints and everything, you will see that cloud has been in our certifications for many, many years. Now we understand that there was not specific certification for cloud or multi-cloud. We didn't have a specific certification that focused on securing users or applications or access to the cloud, but sprinkles were in our certifications for many, many years. And this is exactly the same thing with AI, right? I know that AI is growing and growing, but Cisco did use AI for different products. I mean, somebody may call it, I mean, in our products, we called it, let's say, in the wireless side of things, coverage hole detection, an algorithm that was running in the background that detected if there were any holes on the wireless network, or dynamic channel selection. Anyway, so the thing I'm trying to say is that Cisco was using cloud, AI, and all the new technologies, even programmability, but we felt that this time is the correct time in order to take these technologies and create them their own certifications. Now, let's see an overview of all the certifications that Cisco offers and where exactly the new cloud certifications stick to all this plan. So as you can see, um, the cloud certifications focuses primarily on the networking side of things. And we can see that at this specific point, we do have one certification which focuses on cloud connectivity. We have another one which focuses on cloud security, another one which focuses on cloud infrastructure, and one more is coming in May, on the 20th of May, which will focus on assurance. As you can see, we do have a full idea, a full portfolio, and cloud, multi-cloud covers the whole extent of cloud. So we connect the network to the cloud. We secure users, applications, and access. We also provide all the bits and pieces which are needed in order to virtualize any pieces of the network, plus connected from a service provider perspective. And last but not least, a new certification comes which will focus on the assurance, meaning the monitoring and maintenance of all the cloud infrastructure and activity. Now, in more detail, at this point, as mentioned above, we do have the design implement cloud connectivity, the 300 440. The new certification, it's coming on the 20th of May, which focuses on assurance. We do have a certification on cloud connectivity, securing access and endpoints on the cloud, which is the 300 740. And we also offer one certification, design and implement Cisco service provider and cloud network infrastructure, which is the 300 540. Now, a colleague of mine actually made me add this specific slide on the presentation, and this slide actually shows all the journey and all the presentations that we've got throughout the week that focus on the cloud, and we also show how all these specific sections, all these specific sessions interconnect with each other. So every single day, we do have a few sessions that focus on cloud and multi-cloud, the certification. Some of them are a little bit more technical. Some of them are a little bit more shallow in terms of depth of knowledge, a little bit more informative. Now, who should go for the specific certification? As mentioned before, cloud is something which is here, it's here to stay. A lot of applications are moving to cloud, and a lot of users and companies move their infrastructure to the cloud. So if you ask me personally, I think that everybody who works on the networking space should have at least some knowledge when it comes to cloud. Now, depending on your role, if you are, let's say, a security person, or if you are an advisor or an architect, or focus with endpoints, I think that you definitely need to go for this one. I try to add over here a few roles that we usually come across that need the skills and knowledge that the certifications offer. And some of these roles are network security engineer, cloud architect, cloud security engineer, DevSecOps, security manager, etc. I'm sure that more and more roles we will see in the near future that will have the need of some cloud skills. Now let's see what this certification contains. Now the first domain focuses on cloud security architectures. In this domain, you will come across all the frameworks and all the basic knowledge and frameworks that somebody needs to have in order to go for this, to go in this specific space. This section is shallow, if you ask me, in terms of depth of knowledge. We just want to make sure that the candidates know and understand the frameworks that this certification uses in order to implement the device security and the network cloud security. The second domain focuses on user and device security. In this section, you will see ICE implementation, certificate authentication, and different things in order to be able to secure the devices on the cloud. On the third domain, network and cloud security, you will see all the applications and all the implementation used in order to secure your network, in order to connect to the cloud. Similarly for domain 4, applications and data security from a cloud perspective, how exactly you connect to cloud services and to applications securely. On domain 5, we will talk a little bit about visibility and assurance, how exactly you can detect some threats and how exactly you can respond, as domain 6 says. So you will see a lot of logs and you will see a lot of screenshots from different devices. Now, instead of presenting the full blueprint, I try to make a little bit more graphical and take the main topics from the blueprint, things that you will come across again and again, and things that you will need to be confident about them, that you will definitely come across on the exams. Things like this are the frameworks, are the security reference architecture. You will definitely need to be very, very knowledgeable regarding ICE, Duo, and how these two things interconnect in order to have secure connectivity. You will definitely have some security authentication, how this can be implemented, secure endpoint, firewalls, and secure client. We will definitely touch a little bit on SaaS. Then We will have a few things on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, or Workday, and just to be 100% sure, we will not ask about how AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, or Workday do it in order to connect properly and secure. The thing we will do, we will try and ask the question from a Cisco perspective. So you do have a specific service or a specific application on AWS. What you need to do on your network, on the Cisco side, on the network side, in order to make this connection secure. Um, and I'm actually saying this because when I was discussing this specific thing with some candidates a few months ago, they were a little bit frightened. They thought that they had to know AWS inside out or Azure, Google Cloud. No, the thing is that you need to know that you've got the specific service, you've got your applications over there, how exactly you can make this connection to the cloud secure. Now, obviously, SecureX and Thousand Eyes for visibility, cloud analytics, and a little bit about APIs. Again, we will not go deep on programmability. We just want you to know which APIs we need to use and what exactly they do in case we want to achieve something. Now, some preparation tips. So the first thing you need to do if you want to approach your certification is to download the blueprint. I've got the link. Okay, so it doesn't work. So I've got the link over there. You can go and download the certification. The blueprint. The blueprint. You need to treat the blueprint as your Bible. Why? Because the blueprint contains all the topics, skills, and knowledge that will be tested on the exam. The first thing that somebody needs to understand when they open up the blueprint is what it provides, because in the blueprint there are some small secrets that not a lot of the candidates know. So first of all, 1.0 cloud security architecture is the domain. It's a high level description of what exactly will be covered in this domain. The percentage that you see next to domain is the amount of questions, the amount of items that you expect to see in the exam from this domain. So for 1.0 cloud security architecture, it's 10%. So if the exam is a 60-point exam, 6 questions will be from this domain. In this specific example, in domain 3, network cloud security, it's 20%. So 12 questions will be from this domain. And last but not least, you see 5.1 describe the SecureX solution. The task, which is 5.1, 5.2, etc., is the description of the specific topic. Now, what I've circled over there is the first verb. The first verb gives you a lot of information. In Cisco, we use something which is called cognitive complexity, and it's a way that it's used in the academic space. And by using verbs, we're able to determine the depth of knowledge. And just to make things a little bit more easy, if you see a task which says explain, describe, or understand, we are looking for lookup knowledge. Either you know it or not. Usually multiple choice, one-liner, what is DNS, what is DHCP. Usually we look for characteristics, benefits, and uses. If we go a step forward, compare or differentiate, we still look for uses, benefits, and characteristics, but because you're comparing two different things, this is a completely new group of questions by itself. If you go a step forward, deeper, we see configure, interpret, and implement. In this specific case, in this specific group of questions, you will need to implement something. You will need to create something. So you will be provided with a case, with a problem, or with a few requirements from a customer perspective, and we will ask you to put the pieces together in order to configure and implement something. And then the last group of questions: diagnose, troubleshoot, determine. These specific group of questions are considered to be a little bit more difficult because you have bigger scenario, a lot more moving parts. For example, the diagnose with diagnose questions, something is broken, and we ask the candidates to tell us what is the issue. We troubleshoot, something is broken, and we try to find the solution. And determine, we will provide you some requirements, more difficult and more complex than the group above, which is configure, implement, and interpret. And we'll ask you to determine, pick, or provide the appropriate solution that matches with the customer requirements. Now, type of questions. If I meant to differentiate, make three groups of questions that you will probably come across in the exam. The first group is multiple choice. You will have one or two correct answers. Drag and drop. You will need to drag and drop something from the left to the right. The right might be a group, or it might be a solution or a characteristic. Might be a graphic drag and drop where you might have a configuration, something is missing, and we ask you to take the commands, the statements, or the expressions from the bottom and drag and drop them on the code snippet in order to execute X, Y, Z. Now, when it comes to performance-based items, for this exam, for the 300 740, we're not there yet. I just wanted to add it over there just to show you what is coming. Performance-based items is something that we already implement in quite a few of our exams, and they are like small labs, right? We believe that the Cisco certifications, because they are technical certifications, we need to find a way to actually test the skills and knowledge on the actual product, and we are moving towards this this goal. Now, in case you want to prepare, obviously a book is coming. I would definitely recommend, because this is a completely new certification, the best source that you can actually find the latest content is Cisco U. On Cisco U, there is a training specifically designed for the SCAZT or the 300 740. It's relatively new. It came out exactly the same day as the actual exam, and it contains all the things you need to know for you to prepare for the certification. So you will find labs, you will find a lot of things to study, you will find a lot of things to actually stretch your fingers. Leaving this aside, instead of the actual official training, you can find a lot of free topics and free trainings that focus on specific things. For example, you can focus on safe architectures. You can you can read a few things about the frameworks, or some fundamental skills regarding architecture, regarding the frameworks. I mean, you can find a lot of things, paid and free, in order to help you with your studies. Do you have any questions? Please.
In terms of architecture,
Mhm.
do we expect Cisco? What I mean is that shall we incorporate something from the Azure or AWS side? What I mean is that are we going to be asked about, for example, the team that which are on the other side of the story? Because one part is Cisco and another
Mhm.
part is other vendors which provide the brand cloud for
Mhm.
the cloud.
Very good question. Let me repeat just to be 100% sure that I've got it. You've asked me if is expected from the candidates to know the other part of the network, which is cloud-based. So you do have your network, you do have the interconnection to the cloud, which might be Azure, might be AWS, might be Google. Google Cloud or whatever, would you be expected to know the configuration on that side of the things? Correct? Minimum to none. Minimum to none. So the this is a Cisco certification. So I think it would be a little bit unfair within the Cisco certification to ask you specific things about Azure or AWS. I would say that if you know the basics, and when I say basics, it might be an IP or it might be a security protocol or something like that, yet that you need to configure into Azure in order to establish the communication, the secure communication back to your network. That's all that you need. The bare minimum and basics. You will not see any question which is specific and will go deep on any cloud providers.
Is there any lab that can help us? Is there any prepared lab from Cisco that can help us?
If there are any labs or any preparation, let's say, that can help you prepare for the exam. So I think that your best guess and your best go-to is the training that I've shown you on Cisco U. So this specific training includes the fundamentals, the frameworks. It will go step by step with a blueprint. That's the way we designed it. We designed it on purpose, right? So you can see your progress and you can match your studies with what's on the exam. And over there, you will find some labs and some things in order to stretch your fingers a little bit. You're welcome. Please.
This learning path right here for SCAZT,
Mm-hmm.
if you open it just now, has 6 modules. Only one is published. The other 5 are coming soon, coming soon, coming soon.
Oh, very good point. Okay. Um, I will check it out. I work on the exam side of things, right? So when it comes with the training, we try to align, but we try to align so much so we do not cross the line. Very good point. I will look into it. I know that everything that has to do with cloud, because it's new, because we promote it, because a lot of people ask for it and stuff like that. I know that it's priority one. Um, if you want, and you can stick around for 5 minutes after the session, I can find out more information about it. But I know that for Cisco and Cisco U, the people who actually create the trainings is priority one. Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Nur die, ja, genau. Hey, 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 hey.